Today's video is about using LiveWire hate for profit. What I'm specifically talking about is there's a guy on YouTube. His name is Ben Dykes. He's the service director of a conservative group called Americans for Prosperity. It's a national organization that promotes conservative principles. And Ben Dykes has discovered that LiveWire hate speech on YouTube brings him fame and fortune. Now, this has only been going on for the last 30 days, but Ben Dykes, for 2 years, has run a failed motoblog. Now, what I mean by failed is he didn't have any subscribers hardly, he didn't have any views hardly. Like, as an example, he did his first video 2 years ago. That video still has less than 200 views. A video that he did a year ago had 255 views, and that's pretty much the standard for him. The videos are very poorly done. They don't have any good information, and nobody watches them. And he's been doing this for 2 years. Up until last month, he had published 288 mediocre videos on his channel. And by the first part of May, he had few subscribers. And this is a picture of one of his videos about the 5 reasons why you should ride an adventure bike. He's got a little Honda 300 over there, and he talks about it. I didn't watch all of his videos, but the ones I did watch were excruciating even to watch it. I mean, I almost wanted to give up on this video having to watch his stuff. But anyway, fortunes changed for Ben Dykes because on May 10th, 2023, last month, 30 days ago, he had his first success. He posted what I'll call a scare video alleging that Jochen Zeitz, who's the CEO of LiveWire and of Harley-Davidson, will repossess your Harley-Davidson motorcycle to cover losses from the LiveWire group. He took the quarterly report and he looked at it and he said, well, you know, the finance group at Harley, they're going to have to repo your bike because LiveWire lost $100 million, and it's a bunch of mumbo-jumbo. It's the worst kind of lies, because what he does is he takes some things that are fact and he mixes in some things that are fantasy, and it comes out just a bunch of garbage that's not true. But he got 55,000 views. When you look at the comments, people say, hey, Ben, that's great. Thanks for letting me know that Harley's coming for my motorcycle. It's crazy, but it's true. You can go to the video, watch the comments, look at it. This video was a big success. Now, this was on May 10th. So what happened is Ben got his first time ever that he got something in double digits. He got 55,000 views. Wow, that had never happened before, not even close. So what he did is he followed up with the hate. He got a little bit more extreme. And he came up with a video called Harley-Davidson Death by Budweiser. Okay, so this is an even bigger success. As of today, 381,000 views. Again, everybody's commenting, hey, thanks, Ben. Thanks for letting me know. It was basically a hit piece about Jochen Zeitz and his woke agenda. He said that LiveWire was there because Zeitz was a climate extremist and talks about all kinds of crazy stuff, all kinds of dog whistles. I mean, it's hard to watch, but it's 9 minutes long, and it got 381,000 views, and it's very, very popular. So, hey, Ben, you did great. I mean, there you go. So he followed it up again 6 days later. This time, he comes up with a video called Woke Back Mountain, and this one is about Indian motorcycles. So I guess, he was picking on Harley, so now he's going to pick on Indian. And of course, Indian is associated with Jack Daniels, and Jack Daniels ran a TV commercial featuring drag queens. So therefore, Indian motorcycles is woke and shouldn't be ridden or bought. Did the same hit job they did on Harley. But it wasn't quite as successful because it only got 116,000 views. So, I think he started thinking, hey, I need to go back to Harley-Davidson and beat on those guys some more with some hate. But this is on May 26th. On May 29th, wow, 9,000 subscribers on May 29th. So, man, all of a sudden he went from nothing to 9,000 subscribers on May 29th. And then he's got, as of today, he's got 12,100 subscribers. So, I mean, he's just doing great. And he's opened an online store. He's selling T-shirts and hats and coffee cups, all, promoting his brand. He set up a Patreon account so you can get special information from him that I guess is better than the regular stuff. And he provides a bunch of affiliate links now in all his videos so that you can buy motorcycle related products from Amazon or whatever, and he gets paid on that. And I did a calculation, and his YouTube traffic alone at the volume he's currently doing is, $900 a month. So that's just on YouTube. But, his business is exploding, man. He's doing a great job. He's getting a lot of adoration, and he's getting a lot of money, and things are going great. So, you know what you do when that's happening? You have another hate attack on LiveWire. Now, this one, Ben is getting more and more over the top. And in this video, which came out 4 days ago, is a vicious attack against Jochen Zeitz and Kareem Donez. He calls Jochen a rat, biggest rat of all. He says he can't figure out if Kareem is a guy or a girl. He thinks that LiveWire is a communist manifesto on how to run businesses. It's hard to watch. It's 10 minutes long. You probably should go back and watch it just so you understand what's going on, because this guy has a lot of viewers. He has a lot of comments, and people believe this stuff. These comments that he has, if you read the comments, they're basically very supportive of Ben, and they thank him for his research and his accurate presentations. It's unbelievable to see it, but it's true. And what the situation is Ben Dykes is a disgrace to his country. And I'll tell you why. He purposely directs lies, hate, and fears to ignoramuses in order to get their adoration and money. I've watched his videos. I've read about him. He's not stupid. He knows what he says is not true. And he purposely packages it, combination of lies, hate, and fear, to get people to subscribe and send him money. Look at him sitting there in front of the American flag and, the veterans thing, and he's got a shark on his chest. Boy, he thinks he's hot stuff. And he knowingly spreads dangerous information which is harmful to motorcycling for his own profit. Okay, that's who this guy is. And he wraps himself up in the American flag while spewing aspersions at his fellow Americans who don't share his conservative views. So that's the net. Now, those are pretty strong statements that I've made, so I'm going to back it up with some facts. So let me give you some facts about Ben. If you watch his video and you count the number of lies, I pulled out, I think there's 13 lies here, which means that he's saying a lie every 49 seconds. This guy lies. And I'm going to just rattle off the lies real quick, and I'm going to address them one at a time on a slide to show how ridiculous they are. And if anybody who watches his videos would spend even 2 minutes checking this stuff out on Google or looking anywhere, you see that this guy's a nut. He's not a nut. He's a predator. He's preying on people's stupidity. So anyway, here's the 13 real fast. He says Zeitz resigned from LiveWire because LiveWire is a sinking ship. He said LiveWire is a dead wire. He said LiveWire is the worst business decision ever made. He said Zeitz is a rat and is abandoning LiveWire. He says he doesn't know the gender of Kareem Donez. LiveWire is a way to destroy Harley-Davidson. ESG, that's environmental social governance, is a communist manifesto. He says LiveWire production is stopped. He says LiveWire explodes and catches fire. He says LiveWire can't be stored at Harley-Davidson dealerships. LiveWires must be stored in bomb-proof shelters. Zeitz is wasting money on electric motorcycles. Kareem Donez is going to be the scapegoat for LiveWire, and you can't ride LiveWire to Sturgis, and loud pipes save lives. Those are all lies, every single one of them. So let's go through it. Zeitz resigned because LiveWire is a sinking ship. That's a lie. Okay, now the reality is that on February 7th, 2022, there was a SEC filing that LiveWire did that stated that Zeitz was temporary CEO and that he would be replaced within 2 years. Okay, it's been 1 year, 5 months, and he's been replaced. He found his replacement. He stepped down so that the right guy can do the job. This is all in writing. It's all there for everybody to see. Anybody who knows anything about LiveWire, has had tried 2 seconds to find out, knows that this was part of the plan originally. This is a year and a half ago. They published it in writing with the SEC that this was going to happen. Okay, this is the whole premise of the silly video that was done is stupid. It's not true. Okay, number two. LiveWire is the dead wire. That's another lie. Okay, LiveWire raised $293 million from their IPO. Harley Davidson pledged $180 million to bankroll it. LiveWire is currently rolling out a new model of motorcycle called the Del Mar, and Monday, I guess day after tomorrow, Harley Davidson is putting in Hiro Masuno as the company's board of directors effective June 12th. Now, you can Google who Hiro is, but I'm telling you, he's not the kind of guy that gets involved with things that don't work, okay? You need to check out who he is, but it's beyond the scope of this presentation, but he is an incredible guy that's done incredible things, and he's now on the board of directors of LiveWire. Just want to put that out there. That's happening on Monday. Okay, next, another lie. LiveWire is the worst business decision ever made. Okay, now the situation is, let's just get sober about this. Let's just think about reality. Okay, currently, LiveWire is the best hope of preserving our sport past 2035. Now, what I mean by our sport, I mean riding motorcycles. If you want to ride motorcycles, LiveWire is the best hope of preserving the future because gas bikes, especially the twin gas bikes, have no future. They cannot pass emissions. It's getting worse and worse. They can't do it. Okay? Look at the Evo Sportster. What do you think happened there? Okay, the Evo Sportster went away because it couldn't pass emissions. Pretty soon, all gas bikes, one by one, are going to go away because they can't pass emissions. Why do you think Honda's not developing another Goldwing? Why do you think all the Kawasaki and Honda models are going away? Yamaha, these bikes are being cut because they can't pass emissions. Okay, the best-selling cars in the USA and the rest of the world are Teslas. LiveWire has to be the Tesla for motorcycles. There's no one else in the gate that can do it. It has to be LiveWire. There's no other choices right now. You've got to pull your head out of the sand. You've got to understand that gas bikes are dead ducks. There's no future in them. We can't move forward with them. Cars, motorcycles, transportation, everything has to go electric so that we preserve the environment. That's just it. And if you don't believe in global warming, do you believe in government regulation? Do you really think the government's not going to keep regulating whether or not global warming is real or not? Believe me, the regulations are already in place. It's happening. All right? We're going electric. And if motorcycles don't go electric, motorcycles are going to go away. That's the cold, hard facts. So saying that LiveWire is the worst business decision ever made is just stupid, okay? That's not true. There is nowhere else to go. All right, now this one got me the most upset, saying that Dykes is a rat and he's abandoning LiveWire. Okay, that's me on the left and Dykes on the right. And I met him last year, and he was nice enough to talk to me, or gracious enough to talk to me for a few minutes. I've read the 2 books that he wrote, and he's no rat, okay? And, Ben, you are diabolical. That's all I got to say. I don't know what other word to use. You are an evil man doing evil things to profit off people's stupidity, and calling Dykes a rat is over the top, okay? Now, the reality is, a little bit of inside information here, is that when Dykes was given the opportunity to turn around Harley Davidson in 2019, which he has done, by the way, okay, he would not take the deal without LiveWire being preserved. So in other words, if LiveWire wasn't part of the deal, he refused to come to Harley Davidson as CEO. So that's pretty strong. So he's not abandoning anything. The reason Dykes is at Harley Davidson is he wants to help them through a giant transition they're going to have to make to electric. I mean, he's already said it. In the future of Harley Davidson is electric. There's nowhere else to go. Doesn't matter how slow or fast it's coming. I think it's coming pretty fast based on the regulations. But he is positioning the company to make the transition and get everybody through whole. Not only get the company through whole, but get the riders through whole so we have something to ride. Okay, now, next to the stuff he said about Zeitz, this thing about Kareem and what he was saying that, he said that he didn't know if he was a boy or a girl. The press release that he had in his hand referred to him as he. So Bennett obviously read it, okay? So he's lying. Ben, you're lying, okay? You're just making fun of people. And the reference to what you call alphabet soup is just a bad joke that paints you as intolerant. And you are intolerant, obviously. I've watched your other videos. The stuff you say just blows me away, okay? You're just, I don't know. It's just, you shouldn't be doing what you're doing. It's an evil thing when you're an intelligent guy and you use your intelligence to victimize people that aren't as smart as you. Just not a good thing to do. Okay? Next lie. LiveWire is a way to destroy Harley Davidson. That was another one of his lie. Okay. Again, no future for gas motorcycles. They're being regulated out of existence. Evo Sportster got knocked out of the EU first. Now they can't sell it in the United States. Harley's only hope is electrification. There is nowhere else to go. Without LiveWire, there will be no Harley Davidson. And then the LiveWire 1, which is the bike in the picture there, is the most important motorcycle in 100 years. I'm telling you, it is the motorcycle that saved the industry. I mean, it's the motorcycle that showed that it could be done. It demonstrated that you can make a great electric motorcycle. Now, the next lie, environmental social governance is a communist manifesto, or communist manifesto. This is silly. There is a picture of people. There's actually 140 countries involved, but those are most of the heads of states of many different countries, both of all different government types. There's communist governments there. There's democracies there. There's all the different types of governments. They're all there. Monarchies are there. Everybody's there. So saying that it's a communist manifesto is kind of silly, because trying to protect the environment is something that many of the countries on planet Earth are working on very hard, including the United States. So, my point is, really, you are an idiot, and I can't believe it. And everyone who trusts you is also an idiot, because if they spend 2 minutes, researching these things that you say, they would just realize that you're a fraud and you're a shyster. Anyway, next lie. LiveWire production has stopped. Okay, that's not true. LiveWire is hard at work ramping up production of their new bikes at the Harley-Davidson factory in York, Pennsylvania. I'm very excited to get my LiveWire Del Mar, which I've had on order. The most recent demo bike I saw was VIN number 17, so I know they're ramping up. They at least got to 17. I hope that they can do, 500 or 1,000 motorcycles by the end of the year. I know they got a long waiting list for them, so they're trying very hard to ramp it up. I think my main problem with LiveWire right now is they're late. They're not getting this ramped up fast enough, but they're definitely trying, and they have not shut down production of LiveWire. Okay, the next lie. LiveWire explodes and catches fire. Okay, that's not a LiveWire burning there. That's a V-twin Harley burning. But to be honest and just be straight, give you the information, in March 2021 at Daytona Bike Week, there was a rental Harley-Davidson LiveWire in a dealer showroom that started smoking. So they rolled it out the door and they called the fire department. There was no fire, but there was a lot of steam, and I don't know if the cooling system ruptured or what, but it did not catch fire. It did smoke, and that's the only instance I know of that's like that. I do know of an instance that is not widely known where LiveWire 1 impacted a guardrail on the freeway at high speed during a test ride, and the bike was basically cut in two. The bike hit the guardrail, got cut in two, and believe it or not, the guy landed in the grass and he got up and ran away. So I don't know what he was so worried about, but you would think if you've been in a motorcycle accident, you stop and see if you're okay, but something was going on because he got up and ran away. So never to be seen again. So I don't know what's going on there, but I did see pictures of the bike. It was, heavily damaged, cut in two. Basically, the whole front end was torn off of it, and it did not catch fire and it did not overheat. It was fine. So, I think we have a greater chance of a gas bike catching fire than an electric or a live wire at this point. There have been problems with the Chevy Bolt catching fire. Maybe that's what he's thinking about. But, the Harley live wires do not catch fire. Okay, now the next thing he said, which is just ridiculous, is that live wires can't be stored at Harley-Davidson dealerships. Okay, I'm sure many of the watchers of this video have been to Harley dealerships and seeing live wires sit there. No problem. Okay, and in another silly comment, another lie, live wires must be stored in bomb-proof shelters. No, that's not true. That's just silly and stupid, like the rest of your video. Anyway, next lie. Dykes is wasting money on electric motorcycles. Okay, you either electrify motorcycles or you don't have motorcycles. It's the same in the car industry. There are no gas cars in the future. Now, I suppose that Ben thinks that Tesla, Ford, and GM, I guess they're wasting money too, right? Maybe Ben doesn't realize that the best-selling car in the United States and the world right now, ahead of even the Toyota Corolla, is the Tesla Model Y. And he may not know it, but it's accelerating. In other words, while the sales of gas cars are going down, the sales of electric cars are going up, and there are two Teslas, the Model Y and the Model 3, in the top 10. So, electrification is here. And anybody who doesn't understand that just isn't paying attention. And I do think that Ben's paying attention. He's just lying to people to try and make some money. Okay? Kareem Donez is going to be the scapegoat for LiveWire. That's another lie. Okay? Donez is actually a highly successful, highly paid executive from the power sports industry. Okay? At BRP, they're paying him over $1 million a year. So for a 40-year-old guy, that's pretty good. Starting from scratch, making $1 million a year. He's got advanced degrees in engineering and business. He can work anywhere that he wants, okay? He chose LiveWire because he believes in electrification and he believes in the extraordinary team that Dykes has put together. Now, when you start looking under the hood at LiveWire and you start seeing some of the people that work there, some of the engineers and the designers and things, it just blows me away. Some of the, I believe the premier motorcycle engineer in the world is working at LiveWire. But anyway, no, that's a whole nother video. I did a video on that. And then we started to get into even sillier things where Ben Dykes says that you can't ride a LiveWire to Sturgis. Okay, now that's my LiveWire sitting there. That's in Death Valley National Park, and I'm 110 miles from the nearest charger. And I got 30 miles to go, and I got there just fine. And I got a whole video about that. If you want to look at the channel, you can watch me riding that bike through Death Valley. But you can do it, okay? And I actually, from my house, it's about 1,400 miles to Sturgis, and that would take me about 3 days there and 3 days back. So only spend a day there. Ben has got me so upset. I'm thinking about just, taking a week off work and making the trip, just because he's got me angry. So these bikes, they're not made for long distances, obviously, but it's a great ride. So it's even though I could probably get there faster on a long trip on a gas bike, I'm sure I could. I'm going to enjoy myself and have a better time on the electric bike. But anyway, that's a whole nother video. You can watch my Death Valley video. And then, of course, the last thing that he said, which just shows that he doesn't know how to ride a bike and he's not experienced, is he says, loud pipes save lives. Okay, well, that's just stupid, and it's not true. And for several reasons. One is that most motorcycle car collisions occur from the front. So in other words, you're not going to run into the back of the car. The car's not put itself in reverse and run into you. Okay, accidents happen from the front. And when you got closing speeds from the front, you don't have enough time from the time the car driver would hear the bike to make a evasive maneuver to get out of the accident. So that's silly. And number two, modern cars with the windows rolled up and the loudest possible motorcycle with straight pipes, the guy inside the car can't hear the bike till it's 33 feet away. All right, there's been a lot of research done. You can Google it, but 33 feet is not enough time to make evasive, maneuvers with a loud motorcycle. So, they don't buy anything. Now, I can tell you myself personally, I ride my LiveWire in Southern California, a lot of freeways, a lot of traffic, a lot of stuff going on. I have no problem with my LiveWire. It's very fast, it's very nimble, has a lot of acceleration, has a lot of braking. I never have a problem riding it in heavy traffic. It's much easier than riding a gas bike. One more thing I want to point out is that the LiveWire, both the LiveWire 1 and the Del Mar, have a 6-axis IMU, which is just an incredible advance in safety. You can go watch the videos at Bosch, but you can literally have the bike leaned over, grab the brakes, it won't fall down. You can roll on the throttle, come out of a corner, it won't spin out. It's just incredible how stable the bike is. It's way beyond anything else that doesn't have it. But one more thing I want to say about Ben Dykes is that Ben Dykes is like an old guy. He doesn't have a long future. What you have to look for with the LiveWire is the young people, and the young people that they have a future to ride bikes and be able to enjoy themselves like we have in this generation. Now, I'm 64, so I realize that my generation has done a lot of damage to the young people that are coming after me. And I think it's unconscionable that Ben would take his intelligence and use it in a way to profit at not only the expense of people that are currently here, but of riders in the future who want to have cool motorcycles to ride and do cool things. So anyway, this is a video that I knew the people at LiveWire would never make, but I'm not associated with LiveWire outside of owning the motorcycle, so I can say what I want, but I just feel that, Ben, you really need to sit down and take a hard look at what you're doing, and you need to change your style, my friend, even if it might cost you some views and subscribers. Have a great day.